It now being 6:06 and a quorum present, I'm gonna call the Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 meeting of the Conservation Commission to order. All of us are present in the room besides Tim, who is out. We are being recorded and broadcast live on Zoom and for future broadcasting on the YouTube page, etc. The first order of business is accepting of meeting minutes October 21st, 2025. Are there, I can put them up if needed. Would you like me to put them up? Is everyone good?
I don't need to.
Any amendments, comments, questions, concerns, thoughts?
None of the above.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Is there a second?
So seconded.
All those in favor by roll call, start with George.
Farrington, aye.
Chancelucci, aye.
Hunt eye.
Bjorkland, aye.
Williamson eye.
Danza abstained because I wasn't here. All right, our applications and public hearings. We have a public hearing for the amendment to order of conditions, Brice Estates Inc., Woodside Ave. This is a continued public hearing that we will reopen. So I see Cleese here in person, Chris Lucas on Zoom. We received the amended docs, so so Chris is gonna do Chris, will you just give us an update and explanation of what's been submitted?
Sure. For the record, my name is Chris Lucas with Lucas Environmental. I'm a professional wetland scientist and registered professional soil scientist representing Brice Estates Inc. and Mr. Blair this evening. We're good. Everything's perfect and all done. So no, we have made significant headway. We filed the request for an amendment. The application that's before you was compiled at the request of DEP to include a response formally to the Conservation Commission, to MassDEP for the 401 water quality certification, as well as the DCR for the amendment to the variance under the Watershed Protection Act. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Great. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes, now you can.
So, so what we've done with this package, we've addressed the list of specific items that MassDEP asked Brice Estates to address. We've updated the resource area impact assessment. We provided an impact assessment separately from the project for the sediment-related issues that have occurred, and provided a wetland restoration plan to address the proposed impacts from the project as well as the areas that had some sediment accumulation. So we feel that we've provided a very detailed project assessment here. Just as history, crossing number 3 is located here, and replication area 4, which will be constructed next spring, is located up gradient up the hill. This package includes the work for this area here, as well as quite a bit of detail. Not going to go through all the pages. I'll try to limit the detail and leave it to questions later. But here we're along Woodside again. This is the crossing number 3 with the 18-foot span, arch span that's been installed. I was recently out to the site. There's good grass growth. Everything's stable here. It's been paved. So overall, the culvert installation looks good. What you have on this plan, or there's a lot on here. I can get into the weeds if you really want, but big picture, the crossing's located here. MassDEP asked us to evaluate the area up gradient and down gradient and requantify impacts in here. This detail here is the specific under the crossing. MassDEP considered the area under the crossing, to be permanent impact, even though we were proposing an adjacent vegetated edge. They asked us to use, we proposed stone based on that, and we've got like a flat bed along the sides of the channel, which will serve for a wildlife corridor. So we've quantified all the impacts associated with that. The stream still needs the work. It's one of the last items Clee needs to do here is to get the stream fully restored and get the bypass removed. This section here, and can zoom in a little, this is the area upgrading of the culvert. These trees were moved as part of a forest cutting plan that was approved in 2018. The blue line is the wetland. So everything within the wetland is shown in blue here. There's the flow channel. There were some BVW impacts that occurred in this area for work. We've quantified all of these impacts. It's included in the plan. These areas will be restored in place. Everything within this area will be restored in place. The area over the existing sewer main, the water main. This is all part of the in-place restoration of the project. Similarly, we did evaluation down gradient. So this is down gradient. This is the culvert here, and this is the area down gradient. So there's a small area of BVW temporarily impacted. You can see, 62 square feet and 203 square feet. Looks bigger when you're looking at it like this, but it's under 300 square feet right here. So this will be restored in place. This work will be done as part of the replication work. These other large areas are, as you're aware, this area here, and here are previous breaches. Most of the sediment in this area has been removed. This was part of a previous cleanup. This area still has sediment remaining. It was never cleaned up or not completely cleaned up. And this area has a bit of sediment. So these areas were reviewed in the field with MassDEP and added, they're flagged and surveyed onto the plans. This was another breached area that's been identified, also flagged and added to the plans. We've quantified it's not, the impacts here aren't, if this area right here is roughly 8,000 square feet, there's not 8,000 square feet of impact because it's been cleaned up and there's very good vegetation growth. So we've looked at these and applied percentages. For example, this whole area is roughly 6,500 square feet, but only 10% of it's been impacted. And that, again, will be restored. This larger area here was walked with MassDEP, this other hatching. And what we're showing there is there's little tiny sediment deposits here and there. So there might be a little depression and there might be an inch or two of sediment. And they're spread throughout. So we figured there's a very small percentage of this whole area that has it, but DEP wants it removed and cleaned out. So the plan will be for all these sediment areas to have a bucket brigade to go in by hand at an appropriate time and remove the sediment by hand in buckets. These areas will be walked, and if there's sediment, we've proposed if it's more than an inch deep, that those areas be removed. If it's just a coating, we're going to leave it because it'll wash itself out and you'll do more damage. Same with this section of the intermittent stream. There's a section here where there's some minor deposits. We felt that it should remain, but DEP would like us to clean it out. So same thing, we'll go in the dry in the summer and get in there with the bucket brigade. And if we see any sediment from the site in there, from these breaches, it'll be removed. And the plan is to restore that. This was one of the outstanding items from the last hearing we had with you, where I was present. The commission, because we've changed the replication area on the site and we've reduced it overall, the commission asked us to make up the deficiency in some manner. We had talked about additional replication. We didn't feel that was warranted, and the commission had agreed that some type of buffer zone mitigation would be appropriate. Based on that, to meet the 2-to-1 deficiency, we need roughly 3,000 square feet. We've proposed 9,400 square feet plus or minus in this area, which is towards Main Street from the crossing here. So this area is currently disturbed for the grading of the site, and we are proposing roughly 9,400 square feet of mitigation. So it's 3 times what you asked for. It's 6-to-1 times what was required. So we think this is way above and beyond for Mr. Blair to provide to the town. We think it's appropriate. We provided a wildflower conservation spec mix for this work. I've got the details in the plan, so the sediment analysis is in the report we submitted. All the impacts with the crossing and the area upgrading and downgrading are provided. We've got a detailed mitigation plan, and MassDEP is looking at this now. We're hoping to connect with them potentially for a technical review meeting on these points. But we do believe that what we've provided is sufficient for all agencies to move forward with an approval pending their review. And Clea and I are happy to get into any of the details that we can tonight if you'd like to dive in a little further. Thank you.
There's one thing I'd like to add. In the sediment that's gone into the BVW, from Chris's analysis, there's only 5,400 square feet total.
Yes.
Yeah, can you just?
Yeah, thank you, Clea. Based on the percentages we looked at with the sediment impacts, we figure an area of approximately 5,400 square feet's been impacted with this. for what needs to be cleaned out of there. So it's not as significant as we thought, and it's I think it's definitely doable to do, particularly before leaf out next year, before the herbaceous grows in. That way, the herbaceous should have a good opportunity to grow back in from native seed and any root.
Is the 5,400 just what can be removed?
It's, no, the DEP, Chris, you can correct me on this, but the DEP said anything over an inch, right?
Right. So
We,
that's,
we proposed anything over, if there's a depth of more than an inch, we proposed it to be removed. So there's two, these 4 areas here had heavier sediment accumulation. This area has been primarily cleaned out originally. This area, this was area 3. So for example, area 3, this entire area is about 7,700 square feet. But based on our observations, only about 30% of it has sediment. So based on that, it's roughly 2,300 square feet of impacted area. This one is roughly 7,400 square feet, and we figured less than 5% is currently impacted. There's a couple of pockets where they had created some check dams here that previously where the sediment accumulated. So that's roughly 370 square feet. So our table 3.1 in our report quantifies that, and if we run through all 5 of the areas, 1, 2, 3, and 4 up here are the larger ones. This area here is just a larger area that we walk with DEP that Kim Roth and Rebecca Gendrow asked us to quantify. So we mapped it out. The total area is 40,000 square feet, but there's just a coating throughout in select spots. So we proposed that anything that had more than an inch, we will remove. Anything else will remain because it's pretty de minimis through there. So based on that, we figured about 2% of that area may have been impacted, or has sediment remaining, which impacts it. So that would be roughly 800 square feet. That's how we quantified it. We've done this historically with other sites. This is how we previously assessed this site, I believe, back in March. So we think this is a good quantitative way to look at potential impacts. And I don't believe there'll be any long-term impact once this is cleaned up. We have a protocol in there to do this, and we think it's appropriate to clean this up at the right time once all the agencies approve it. We've been asked not to touch it until it's approved, so we've let it remain for now at the request of DEP.
I don't get that, by the way. Can I ask a question? Why don't they let you clean it up when it happens? Why do they want to put it on a plan and have it all sit there and there was an area that muck flowed into the stream. It's just discolored the stream a little bit, but it came from the stuff that was already there. It didn't come off the site. So why don't they let you clean it up? I don't get that.
so usually there's a process in which you can stop it from getting worse, but you don't want people just going in wetlands without approvals. So you need to make sure it's done correctly, basically. That's why, I guess, to put it simply. But yeah,
They wanna, normally what they ask for, they want a quantitative analysis of the area. And if Chris is using percentages, I feel like that's reasonable. I haven't seen that before, I
And
don't
it's
think.
deposits, like he said, it's just, there's a little bit here, there's a little bit there, just kind of stuck in divots, you know what I mean? And if you try to get less than that, like dig that off of it's
You
gonna
can't, yeah.
impact it more. You know, Kimberly said, take it down to a half an inch, like, how do you do that? It's gonna grow back naturally anyway.
Yeah, Kim didn't say half inch necessarily. They said propose what we'd like to do and they'll review it. We've proposed an inch. They could come back and say half inch. I think an inch is appropriate. A half inch, I don't think it's really going to impact things. An inch, I think it's a reasonable approach to clean this out. If they want more, we'll address it. Like for example, this area here, area 3, there's like kind of 2 fans that came down where the sediment went out and fanned out. But then there's like little dustings through here. So we flagged the overall area because it's difficult to micro delineate that and quantify it. So we do a larger area and then estimate what percentage. So when we looked at it, walking through aerially, we believe that maybe 30% of this area has sediment remaining that's impeding the vegetation from growing through. So that's how we quantify it because DEP wants an actual number to quantify. This area, previously had sediment, it's cleaned out and it's it looks like a fern valley. I think I found 6 or 7 different species of ferns growing in here. The herbaceous has rebounded very, very well. We anticipate similarly that will occur in these other areas once the sediment's removed. So where it's heavily deposited with a couple, 3, 4, 5 inches, once that's removed, the herbaceous layer should come out because there should be seed stock in the topsoil there once you remove the sediment. And if not, if it's woody veg and whatnot, there should be, the woody veg has been okay. It's more the herbaceous that should come back. And if it doesn't, we have a plan to seed it, to reseed these areas. And then obviously the replication areas are proposed here. We'll plan to do that work in the spring. So we want to all tie it in. I think we have a nice plan here. We just need the approvals, and I think we're close. It's just a matter of the agencies reviewing and getting back to us if they have any further comments or questions.
Are there questions from the commission?
Guys?
Go ahead, Glenn.
I forgot what I was gonna ask now. What is your plan for over winter on that site, Clea? How are you gonna get it kind of just buttoned up?
If you would like to come out there and take a minute, we've spread in the area where it was running off in the last couple of storms, we spread an enormous amount of stump grindings.
Okay.
We've seeded, excuse me, about 2 or 3 weeks ago with winter rye, anything that we disturbed, and prior to that, there's grass growing. Actually looks like a golf course down there in some areas. The grass is really coming in nice, so we went down there. It rained pretty good for a bit last night. We went down there this morning. We have videos, we have pictures. There is absolutely nothing running off the site. The big thing that I'm worried about is that pipe under the crossing. And the water's gonna come in spring, especially in the spring with the snow melt runoff and so forth. It's a steep area, and underneath there, I gotta get that pipe out of there and rip wrap that channel with the stones like we talked about. And I wanna fix I wanna get the underneath of this so that it's buttoned up, so that's the only place that I see that there could be any issue whatsoever, because they haven't given us approval yet, you guys, and DEP and the DCR, as to what we can do underneath the arch. And that area, right, that has to be fixed quickly.
I agree. Right now, upgrading and downgrading has been seeded. It looks good. It's not the permanent seeding. It's a temporary one to get through the winter. When I was out there, I was actually quite pleasantly surprised by the growth. But right now, we have a very narrow channel going through there. This is one of the issues DEP had raised, that we have like a 1 to 2 foot channel going through here right now. That was the bypass during construction. So that channel needs to be completed, because we have what's the Thalweg, which is like a 1 to 2 foot low flow channel, and then we have a actually put that right here.
If the water overtakes that pipe,
So
it's gonna
So
rip.
right now, right, yeah, so there's a flow channel in here, and that's where water's flowing through right now, and there's a pipe. What we need to do is widen that out to create the bankful width of the channel to be back, and then we have to create this is the 1.2 times bankful. We have the additional area on the side, which we're proposing for stone, and DEP didn't want like loose riprap like you'd see on a slope. They wanted it more flattened so wildlife can move through, amphibians and things can move through, so they're not going to fall into crevices and whatnot. So the plan is to have flat field stone to be placed along the edges, and the channel needs to be widened out to be back to what it was originally, and that can be stabilized. So that's one of the last steps there. And then the areas upgrading and downgrading will be reseeded in the spring when we do the other work with the appropriate seed mixes. This time of year, the wetland seed mix is slow to germinate, so it's not ideal to use this late in the season. So I think Clea had the appropriate. Would you use a winter rye, Clea, a rye mix?
Yes, the other stuff is regular environmental grass. That we planted there came in
So
really nice.
we'll evaluate in the spring, and if areas need to be reseeded with the proper mix, they'll be done. But at least it's stable for the winter, pending getting that stream channel finalized.
That's really the thing I'm worried about most. Other than that place, getting the pavement down, opening up the catch basins, it just stops everything from coming off the hill, and it puts everything into the catch basins and pushes it off into areas, into the detention ponds and so forth. It's It's very stable right now. I mean, I'd love to have you guys come out and just walk it and take a look, cause, I'm pretty, actually, really happy with the way it looks. I'm not worried about it, at all, to tell you the truth.
So I think Mary and Tim went out on Friday.
Just me.
Just you? Oh, I lied, it's not Tim. And so I was looking at some of the photos from the crossing. I think that's where most of them in the retaining wall, and it doesn't necessarily look stable. It looks like you did have some breaches and impact that made it past the silt fence.
Where's that? The only ones that are there right now are right, what he's quantified. There's no other new ones.
Melissa, you're seeing new, or is it just older material that we haven't been able to clean out yet?
I'd say that's new.
We
I
have
can-
Where are you seeing this?
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing yours.
Sure. So I think that's the top of the.
Yeah, we saw, last time we were out there, we saw some upland flow patterns in the sediment. But, we walked to the areas where the impacts had occurred. And, I mean, we looked at all the areas where the impacts were. So I feel like Chris's map seems accurate.
So I think this one, your silt fences.
That's, yeah, but I think that's been mapped already. That one area where there was a hole right under the silt fence, you remember that?
Yeah.
Right there, but I wonder where that would be on his plan.
That's not near the crossing though, isn't that way down?
It's further,
Yeah, it's where we put
it's not
all
the
those
crossing.
stump grindings. I think we just put them there Friday.
That's near area, siltation area 3. That looks like that's just up gradient. So that's where we've had impacts already. That's one of the breach areas that's known.
But that looks,
I'm not to say that erosion's not new, because we're trying to get grass growing there, but
so I guess it doesn't matter if it's a previous, you're continuing to have issues. You're saying everything's stable. I think that's not quite what we're seeing.
I'll tell you, I went out there this morning, like I said, it rained really hard last night. Everything's clear as a bell. There is nothing, we walked the whole area, there's nothing coming off that site that, is is causing any. We can go out there and take a look anytime you'd like. I'm happy to do that. But I can't find any area whatsoever that would be an issue, or would cause siltation.
And Melissa, we can have Tom Larson go out and take a look at those spots. If the silt fence is exposed, he can get in there and tuck them in before the next storm and maybe add some additional bales. Just to make sure there's no issues with any future storms.
Yeah,
I think that's a reasonable thing, just to have Tom go walk that area and make sure if there's a rill or two forming, tuck them in, maybe put some jute mesh down and some additional erosion controls. That should be a pretty
I just wanna
easy
make
fix.
sure it's kept up with. I know the SWIP report that came in didn't call those out, so there's still ongoing things that those erosion controls need to be kept up regardless of this amendment, enforcement, etc.
I agree totally.
Erosion and stabilization is always what you need to be doing.
Can I ask a question? On the crossing,
Mhm.
do you mean to have the grass growing on the wall cappings, or did?
No, it's just right up to it.
Oh, it's actually on the
No,
concrete.
it's growing on top of the.
It is thick.
We were there last
Good.
week.
The
Yeah,
more grass that's growing, the
you
better
could
for
hit a
me.
golf ball, you could hit a golf ball off of those. I was just wondering if you were
Yeah.
gonna cap them with a.
One side, there will be a sidewalk.
Okay.
But no, I wasn't my intention to cap those.
Okay.
what's the standard practice thing with those? Because this came up too for me with it was just like
Yeah,
left
it just looked
open.
weird, that's all.
At the top, is that just up to the contractor how they like it, or?
The block wall company makes one wall that they, the one set of blocks that you put on the top.
Yeah.
All the other blocks are different, but those are top blocks. Those are the blocks that you set that are permanent there. The other ones like kind of connect to each other.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
so that's
So like
specific block just for the top of the wall.
this is like the top that curved.
Yeah.
The top pieces?
Yes,
Oh,
the-
okay, gotcha.
I was,
Now, wouldn't
I
it be
wasn't
more,
talking about that, I was
I
talking
know.
about the step downs though.
There's the,
Yeah.
oh,
wouldn't it
I'm
just,
not gonna go
wouldn't it
back
be
and forth.
easier just to let that fill up and not worry about the wall?
Just turn the.
The wall's dangerous.
yeah, I don't think we're worried about the, unless you are, the wall, I mean,
I was
just
just
curious,
curious.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know,
It was, I haven't
You
seen
can
it
plant
before, that's
flowers
all.
in there, George.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah, you can
native
use
wildlife
plant
plants.
flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of you guys using the wildflower mix in the restoration areas, that's, I think you're gonna find that overall, you're gonna like that better than putting down seed, cause like I said, you're not gonna have to send somebody in there to mow a couple times a year.
Makes sense.
We're trying to save you money.
I like that.
Is there supposed to be silt sacks in the catch basins? Cause I don't think I've seen any. Do you know?
If I could on that, yes, you guys like the silt sacks, but I'm gonna tell you, none of the water goes in the catch basin. It causes awful erosion. I had to, and Holden Glenda can help me on this, I got approval to take them out because it was causing such a problem. The silt sacks, the water doesn't go through them and they fill up in like 2 seconds.
Well, and like in the winter, if they freeze, that's not good,
That's, yeah,
but
that's one thing. I
just
just,
like anything else, you need
You
to
have to
maintain them.
Yeah, but even
That's-
if
I
you
mean, it's-
maintain them, the water can't get into them. I mean, they're not,
well, if you maintain it, the water can. It's when they fill it with sediment that there's no room.
I disagree with you, Melissa, not respectfully, but
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. Every time we use a silt sack, the water just runs right over the catch basin. It doesn't have time to get it. It doesn't go in. The catch basins, at least at these times, it's better off just to maybe collar them up with hay bales or something rather than the silt sacks. Honestly, all they do is cause problems.
I just think there's a ton of sediment going into them.
Not anymore.
Well,
There was,
so
but
this is Friday.
we've got that whole side with the straw wattles.
This is Friday.
Yeah, but where do you see sediment?
Right, literally all of this.
That's not sediment, that's flow fill. It's, we have to, Chris,
Were you patching around it?
yes,
Okay, okay.
that's cement. So, like cement, what happens
Okay.
is, you gotta raise those to the base coat, because when you plow, you kill yourself if you hit one of them, right?
You will.
So
Yes.
that flow fill allows us to raise it up to wear coat level when it comes time.
Okay.
Easier than concrete. So it looks mucky, but that's harder than a rock.
Okay. Not too many things open now. Did you have other questions?
That was all, thank
That
you.
was all, okay. Others?
Well, so you had the picture up earlier with the silt fence. It's hard to tell if it is being trenched in or not. Just make sure it is
It's
trenched
not.
in.
Absolutely, I'll have them out there first thing in the morning.
The other thing I noticed, I saw a lot of straw wattles, which is good, but the ends weren't installed correctly. They're butted up against each other. They should be offset horizontally and both ends staked.
All right, but here's one of the what happens when you build a road like that, there's a crown in it, okay? When it rains really hard, that straw wattle has to be up against the edge, because the water will hit the edge of the shoulder and it rips the shoulder out if you don't have it right up tight. And if I put a berm in there, it makes it worse. So we decided to use the straw wattles, and the reason they touch like that is because we're trying to keep the water. If the water gets off that road and it runs into the shoulder, it just rips the shoulder away.
Okay.
And that's because of the way it's built,
Sure.
to keep the water in the gutter.
So the problem with when you butt them together is you now have a weak point. Water's gonna go
Yeah,
through
you're-
that gap. Now, if you wanna leave them where they are, I'm okay with that. What I would suggest is take a short piece and put it behind that gap.
Fair enough.
That way you can keep a continuous edge there.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
cause by butting them, you're actually making that real. Cause it
Okay.
can escape, but if
Yes,
they're
yeah.
folded back.
Water will find the path of least resistance and
Yeah.
that'll be it.
Got it, I didn't know that, okay.
Other questions? Comments?
I did have a question, what was I wanted to ask something, I did see it in the report, the intermittent stream. There was some impact to that, I think some restoration plan for that.
don't know if you guys could talk a little bit more about what the plan is for that. I know with the stream, there's not a lot of sediment in it, and I think because it's minimal amount, most of it's probably just gonna allow it to wash away, but I wanted to get some more information on that.
You're asking about the downstream or the crossing? You're asking where it was impacted downstream?
The
Yeah,
downstream.
so downstream, there's roughly a 142 linear foot section of the stream where we've observed sediment deposits in the stream. So we're we would have preferred to leave it because that typically naturally washes out and doesn't usually have a long-term impact. DEP would like the thicker deposits removed. So again, we've suggested anything over an inch in that channel will be removed. So somebody will go down with a bucket, they'll with a small shovel dig out the sediment that's in the stream that's not natural and remove it. That work should be overseen by us to make sure they're not taking natural sediment, because sometimes it's hard to say what's from the site and what's natural when it's a sandy stream. So that's something we would evaluate and go through and walk down with them. And just to make sure, we'll go a little bit beyond that too. Make sure there's no other deposits down gradient, and we'll clean that out. And we'll plan to do that in low flow. So that's probably something we'd look to do in like July or August. Just because you want to be out there when the stream's at its driest.
Thank you, Chris.
Any others?
Anything else?
Okay. I think we've said from the beginning, we still wanna get DEP and DCRs okay before we make a decision, just to make sure there's no changes and we don't have to do this again 6 times. So it's for your benefit, I promise. Is there any questions from the public on this application? Nope. Okay. If there's nothing, is there anyone else from the public on Zoom? Sorry, not to discredit anyone, I don't see anyone. Is there a motion to continue then, if there's no other questions?
Motion to continue.
Second.
To
Oh, okay.
November 18th,
No,
right?
yes, November 18th, sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry,
That's okay.
I shouldn't say that.
I'm sorry, I missed 2 seconds because I was trying to calculate the date.
Jared, did you
Jared.
second?
Yep.
Jared?
Okay,
Jared.
yeah, it's fine, none of us are okay. All those in favor by roll call, starting with Jared.
Farrington, aye.
Gentilucci, aye.
Bjork and I.
Williamson, I.
Dan's aye. Alright, so we'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully you can get some feedback from DCR and DEP, and
That would be lovely.
that would be lovely.
Getting them to communicate, so,
Yeah.
for
Tamika,
sure.
sorry. Did they say they wanted another site visit, or was that an older email?
That was an older email.
Okay.
Okay,
I was gonna say, we were just out.
awesome. Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris. Thank you,
please.
Chris.
Have a good night.
Have a great night.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you,
Thank
bye.
you.
What are you guys here for? Anything specific?
Nothing official.
Okay, alright, just wanna make sure, I didn't want you to, all of you just,
They're gonna
Joining.
kill us all.
No.
my god!
They're assassins, they're undercover.
They heard these.
I'm
we-
looking
we
to
laugh
buy,
a lot.
I'm
I
looking to
could-
buy a house in Rutland and
Oh.
it needs a septic and and a well and all kinds of things. And Tamika invited me to join in and said you guys are
I
all nice
mentioned it in
people
the
and
email to you guys, this is a gentleman that's interested in the farm at 101 Britnell
Okay.
Drive.
Oh.
And I invited him to come during
Yes.
public comment
Okay.
to get some feedback from you
Okay.
guys.
Do we wanna jump to that?
Sure.
As well,
let's.
right? Okay, let's jump to that. Did you have any specific questions or just looking for?
Well, just general guidelines. I mean, I don't know if there's
Sure.
ever been any history with the property before with the board.
I checked our files for the address, I couldn't find anything. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist, it's just nothing that we had electronically.
What's the address again?
101 Britnell Drive.
It's pretty wet, it looks like. Yeah. I'd say, I don't think we've had anything specific on it, at least that I can remember. I've been on for 8 years. Forget that, forget that. Let me put this on the screen. So it does show that there are some wetlands on the property. So this is just from our town's GIS mapping system. So it gives like the general location of the property lines. They're not exact. I like to always make that. And then it takes some layers from the state. So this is like the 2023 aerial mapping that shows the property. And it has some historic ones like 2021, 2019, goes back to the 90s too, so you can kind of put a little bit of history together if you were ever
Oh, that's
interested.
cool.
So it looks like, you know, there might have been some old paths through there in the past, perhaps, but it looks like it's been forested for quite a while. So, you know, it does look like there are some wet areas, so the state kind of has like a guesstimation.
Where would you outline with your mouse the wet areas?
Yeah, hold on, let me turn on a
Can you pull
better,
up that data layer?
yeah, I think so.
DEP wetlands.
Yeah, where is it?
Up
I'm
top.
like, oh, thank you. So this is what they have mapped, so in this green area, but they also have this light green.
Intermittent.
No, I think that's still BVW.
Oh, okay.
What is
Okay.
the light green? I saw that before and
Yeah,
I was
so-
wondering, is it a contour line or?
No, it's a wetland, so there's like different kinds of wetlands and the state has them categorized in various ways. For all intents and purposes, like me personally, I'm sorry to keep like zooming in
No,
and
that's
out.
okay.
Me
Oh.
personally, yeah, looking at this, like just from a bird's eye view in my history of looking at these, I'd say it's pretty wet even in this area. We can kind of tell just from, you know, the density of trees and I don't know, I was trying to explain it to
It's
my
got a
admin
weird,
today.
it's hard to.
It's the look of it.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a gray, hazy,
Yeah.
funky thing. I
Um,
don't know.
so
Get
it
used to it.
doesn't, these areas being highlighted doesn't mean that there is or isn't definitively a wetland in that exact place. So what, as a property owner, you would have to do if you were to purchase this property and if you were to propose any, you know, any work on this property would probably be the first step hiring an engineer and a wetland professional to survey the property and delineate any wetland resources on it. I think that would be the biggest. Our jurisdiction extends the wetland itself, and typically 100 feet out, there's circumstances where if it's like a perennial stream or river where we're 200 feet. So I'd have to take a look at this area over here, that might be a river or a perennial stream, but so within that wetland edge to 100 feet out, you'd have to file an application with us if you're doing any sort of disturbance or alteration. So that includes like tree cutting, vegetation removal, you know, digging the foundation, building a house, septic, etc. That's kind of the basics of it.
Where's the house on the property?
I don't think they're,
There it is, way down on the bottom, you'll
Oh,
have to
this
scroll.
one?
The road.
Oh, right
That's
there,
it,
okay.
right there.
And is that a stone wall that cuts across like the middle of the property?
Where the yellow line is, there's a stone wall.
Like right, just
kind of.
there?
oh, this?
Yeah.
There are two, there's more than one stone wall.
No, that's something on the GIS layer, this
Okay.
one, but you can kind of see, it is
Sort of a,
sort of following it.
That stream you pointed out earlier, Melissa, it is
Yeah,
intermittent.
It's intermittent?
It's intermittent,
Okay,
yep.
so it's just 100 feet.
Yep. And that green line, I'm not seeing that on Mass Mapper on any of the wetland layers.
That's
So I'm-
bizarre, cause it's got the little wetland
Oh,
symbols
weird.
in it.
Yeah,
That is funky.
So
you're
if I
not
wanted
in
to
this
stick
one.
up where that big green teardrop is up in the middle, if I wanted to put a house there, I have to get it all delineated and, you know, figure out how do I get to it from the road, and I'd have to get like permission to put in a culvert or something. Like if you go up to the top where, up by Nate's Way, see how there's not, like way up in the top corner,
This one.
right there? Like, could I put a driveway around that? Or is there a buffer, like what's the,
It's, so there's always gonna be that 100-foot, but I mean, so there is this thin property,
Looks like
so you
that's
don't, this doesn't
someone else's
actually, this isn't 101 Britnell, this little section here.
okay,
So this.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, so where you touch the road actually
Is right
ends
there.
like right here.
But, okay,
But
so
there
I'd
could
have to
be
cross
things
down where it's thinnest then.
Yep.
If I wanted to go.
And there is a limitation on how much wetland you can disturb. It is 5,000 square feet and you'd have to replicate it
Okay,
at least 1-to-1, but our bylaw has been accepted, so it might be 2-to-1 by the time you get to the point. Not to throw you for a loop, but so it does appear fairly wet, at least from an aerial view. So yeah, it would, I think a wetland scientist would be able to tell you pretty quickly if it would be feasible.
and is there a driveway length limitation?
I think if it's 1,000 feet, it's considered a road.
That'd be a planning or
That'd
fire
be planning board.
planning board thing.
If you
Yeah,
ask
how much?
the building inspector will know.
No, but what did you say, 1,000 feet?
1,000 feet
I'm not gonna
is
hold you
about-
to it, but.
Yeah, don't hold me to it, but I think 1,000 feet is considered a road.
So 999?
Yeah.
And-
0.9.
I'm just asking.
Inches.
I don't have to be, I don't wanna cut it that close, that's too risky.
Your patch might make it, yeah.
Okay, cause yeah, I see all those other houses on Campbell that are right next to that wetland. Those three right there.
Yeah.
So are those 100 feet away from the wetland? Or were they already there type of thing, or?
Yeah, it depends when they were built. So the Wetlands Protection Act was enacted in the 70s.
Right,
So some houses predate that. So you can be within that 100 feet. You just need to file a permit and make sure you meet all of our
replicate
regulations.
the area or whatever is
Or
required.
whatever would be necessary. So not to say you can't do anything within 100 feet. You just have to have it properly permitted.
Now, is that building or is it septic or both?
Anything.
Any disturbance.
Any disturbance of
Yeah.
the earth?
Disturbance of a wet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or any just
Yeah.
or vegetation, etc.
okay.
So trees count.
Earthwork,
Yeah.
So
driveways.
if you could scroll up to where the house is. And then kind of scroll up a little higher even, so Grizzly Way is in the picture. So there's a second lot across the street from the farmhouse where your cursor is now.
Yep.
That's in the middle of the rest of the land. There's another 65 acres across the street. That.
Yep.
So, but I noticed that there's town water and sewer and a pump house down in there for that area, I think.
Yep.
So, cause since I abut it, is there, if I wanted to put like, I don't know if you can see, but there's a barn, there's a couple of outbuildings up at the front of the
This one?
street, nope, that's
Oh,
another,
that's-
right there,
yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to, put a house there and then the main house, can I connect to, instead of building a septic system, which would be near all that wetland, can I connect? And how do I go about figuring out how to connect?
I think that would be a DPW question.
Yep.
This is also pretty wet here.
Right,
So you would somehow need to be able to get through that as well.
So I think you'd have to verify with DPW, if you were to make any water and sewer connections, it
Right.
it would have to be out to Brittenell.
Yeah.
Not to the new road, because you'd be crossing through private property.
no, I understand that, but my point is, I was just trying to illustrate
yeah.
that's how close
Yeah.
it could be.
And there could be some in that section of Brittenell.
And that's like 1,000 feet from the barn down to the end of the road.
Yep.
And I don't know exactly where the sewer line goes. I know the pump house is like on the other side, or a pump
Yeah.
house is. So I don't know if it makes sense to just go right down Brittenell Road, and I don't know if you guys have, is it 200,000 a mile? Like if there's a budget do I bring in a contractor and say, this is what they'll do?
I think that's definitely a DPW question. I really don't know, unfortunately. They would have the ability to talk to you about
Cause they said for one house, it's cheaper to do your own septic, and I get that, 30,000 on average or whatever it is, but if I wanted to maybe put, redo that one and maybe put 2 houses on the 65 acres here, now I have 3 houses that might connect in, it might be less impact and cheaper to connect that way, so.
I definitely think it's worth talking to Chris again down at the DPW.
Okay, cause he just says, well, it's gonna cost a lot. And I went, well, what does a lot mean? And then he says, well, you need to do a plan, and alright, I get that, but
Yeah.
you guys have all the experience and my rule of thumb or,
Yeah, I used to know the number for the street sewer. I forget, sorry.
Well, I think,
It's in there somewhere.
I was told it was like $6,000 to connect to it.
Probably just the hookup
That's
fee.
correct.
Just the
Yeah.
hookup.
And I was told I'd have to put in a stub
Yes.
Yeah.
for each house that is along the way, should they wanna do it, if
Yeah.
I were to connect, but,
Is this-
It'll depend on how long the sewer pipe run is, that'll be the bulk of the cost.
Yeah.
And I
If
don't know,
there's space in the road. I don't know, but utilities are already there,
yeah, I don't know what's in Brentnall,
it's a dirt road.
Nothing.
probably not much. If you're putting in a 6-inch, 8-inch sewer pipe, it doesn't take up a lot of room.
Can
But
you
to
put
do
it
the
in?
excavation, install the bedding, the pipe, the backfill, restore the road, it's, if you're putting in 100 feet of pipe, it may not be that bad. If you're putting in 500 feet, 800 feet, 1,000 feet, that can
Right.
be pretty expensive.
Can you put it in a dirt road?
I don't know.
Clea did recently for Hilltop Estates.
You put it in the dirt portion?
Right up the middle, I believe.
Oh, that's
And-
right.
And just my last general question, if you can scroll back down, or up rather, other way.
Oh, this
Sorry.
up, okay.
Yeah, that, okay, now over there on the left, I'll just point it out. 'cause
Yeah, come on over.
I'm puzzled how,
Play weatherman.
Right.
so they have this, what is this? Like, and then there's like 5 feet along, if you zoom in, there's actually like 5 feet in between. And so, cause this is my neighbor and their house is, 2,000 feet back, or whatever that number is, and I was just sort of curious, like, I don't know, they almost cut off this house, so I'm like, how is this house, I don't know, I don't know if you guys know, it was just like, that's a strange looking map, and I was curious
Yeah.
as
It's
to.
like a cul-de-sac.
So it's a game of lot lines, so
Okay,
this house
yeah,
has its frontage
yeah.
here, I bet.
Oh.
I bet.
Where it comes from, yeah. That's
Yep.
how it was, okay.
Which it's useless, I mean, I can't say it's useless frontage, but it's useless
It
frontage.
exists, but there's no
exists.
driveway there.
Right, cause it's exactly, or it's 100 and something feet. So that's probably how they got away with that.
Okay, so that, cause I was trying to do it from the other way, I didn't
Yeah.
notice it going up that way.
Yep. Yeah, this little tiny.
Cause I thought it connected down, alright,
Yeah, so it connects down here too, but I think its actual frontage is
it's
Right there.
there.
bizarre, apparently doable.
And they must then have an easement for their driveway, cause they're not going all the way up.
I would assume so, yeah.
I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Fact-finding mission with my family, so we're trying to figure out if we can.
I definitely recommend stopping by and talking to Chris again. He's on vacation this week.
Okay,
So if you come back next week and talk to him,
okay,
let him know you came to the Concom and you got some more specific answers and you're
Yeah.
looking for some more details on the sewer stuff.
okay.
Chris, do you,
Oh,
so sorry, I forgot. Chris, do you have something on this? Do you know anything?
I was just gonna be happy to offer my services to the family. I like it. Melissa, you can speak to my reputation, but if you'd like to pass my information along, I'd be happy to take a look if you need some help on this. These are the kind of sites we specialize in.
I already wrote your name down.
Shameless promotion.
I already wrote your name down.
Yeah, he's got your name.
I get it, yes.
Yeah,
Looks
feel free to give
environmental.
me a call. We can help you out if you need it.
Okay, alright, everyone, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Thank you for
Thanks for
coming.
coming to the most
Yeah.
fun commission in town.
Thanks, Chris.
Time flies.
Thank you.
Okay.
that lot was a good reminder, the town should have a lot regularity section in the bylaw.
I thought that came up recently, the past few years, but
I've seen that in a lot of other
What
towns,
is that,
so you-
like what?
Do they call them
it's,
flag lots?
what's that?
Do they call them flag lots?
That's
No,
the
it's,
state lot,
there's,
right?
some towns have an equation where it has to meet a
Oh, the
certain
circle?
value. No, not even that, I've seen that too, but the shape of the lot cannot be, it's kinda hard to describe in words, basically it can't be excessively irregular.
right, like those.
I would call that excessively irregular.
This probably wouldn't pass the test, yeah,
There's a lot of those lots in town,
yeah.
and it's, you
There are
know,
a lot
away
of
from
those lots in
frontage and
Massachusetts.
conservation
Mm-hmm.
and all that.
Some towns
I
have
bet
that
you
requirement,
that-
so you end up
Yeah.
with more
I bet that's a
regularly
septic.
shaped lots.
That's why
Oh.
this is, I
That's
bet
what I was
that's the
thinking
septic,
too,
yeah.
maybe it's
Oh,
septic,
yeah,
I
that
betcha.
does
I
look like
betcha,
the leach
I bet
field.
that little
Yeah.
square is the stop dog.
could be,
So like,
Smart,
why does it go
Melissa,
like that?
smart.
it's gotta be something there, right?
Okay,
Well, bam.
well, bam!
So moved.
Cool. Is there any other follow-up on the Brice Estates Forest Motor Site Walk with MassDEP? Does anyone have any overviews who went to that we didn't talk about in the amendment request?
I mean, it probably would be worth going back
Yeah,
with him, I guess.
I think so. I think I can follow up with Becky too to see if they're going out again and to, I think they plan on going out because of this as well to make sure the flags match up, so. Okay,
My
wetlands,
only concern, Melissa, is they might create more damage when they go in to clean up the sediment. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
I feel like if I don't mind the plan, I think it's fine, but as long as Chris has eyes on it and
yeah, I think we can
can go
definitely,
out,
I think if we're
make
talking
sure-
about the amendment, we
Yeah.
can they put that in conditions, we'll do
Right.
that at the next hearing.
okay, thanks.
Sorry, I just.
Happy to do so.
Thank you, Chris.
Sorry, I'm coughing, have a cough.
It's okay.
Yeah, if the cleanup, just for the commission, the cleanup should occur outside the growing season for the sediment in the wetland. Cause you will trample the herbaceous vegetation, so
Yeah.
getting it done before it comes up next spring would be ideal. So assuming we get the approvals, my plan will be to coordinate with Tom Larson and get out there to get the wetland cleaned up. If we can do some of the stream work, we will. If not, we'll wait till the drier months. But my assuming we get all the approvals in the near future, I'd like to get out there before everything freezes up and get it cleaned. If not, we'll get out there in the early spring and do what we can. But I'd rather do it now before the winter. It's harder to do in the spring. That I agree with you that getting out in the growing season will trample everything out there, and I don't want to. Not the woody veg, it's the herbaceous, and we don't want to do that.
So Chris, one last thing and I'll let you go, I promise. The how is that stream gonna be protected over the winter? If DEP won't let him pull the pipe and stabilize it, how is he gonna protect it?
I do, cause this isn't the public hearing anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right.
just, yeah,
Oh, it's not?
no.
Oh, we closed it?
Close that.
We
Oh,
continued
never mind,
it.
sorry,
I
we
know.
can't talk, sorry, Chris.
Email Tamika your question.
Yeah, email. Email.
We can talk later, no
Yeah.
problem.
I think there's a general concern, Chris. Maybe you should follow up.
We'll,
Sorry, not that I
let-
wanna shut
No,
it down,
you're right,
but-
you're right.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I think.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha.
So funny.
All right,
Okay.
I'll be quiet now. Thank you.
No,
Have a good
thanks,
night.
Chris.
Bye.
Alright, next, Wetlands bylaw, review comments from Attorney General's office. So the AG approved our bylaw. And I think if I understand their comments right, we're doing things that they're telling us to do. So I think they had 3 comments. The first one was regarding our regulations, making sure that they comply with state law. I think that's a goal.
It's a good goal.
That's a
I
good
like
goal
that.
to have.
You think? Really?
And I do agree that we should probably have town council, review the regs before we enact them and we don't just, have a fun party and commit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Felonies?
Violations, yeah, crimes.
Too far there.
Yeah.
Community crimes.
So section B, enforcement, so I think what it's stating is that in order to use the section that we wrote, we have to amend the bylaw to establish a specific penalty, and town should consult with town council with any of these issues. But I also thought that you could specify the specific penalty in the regulations.
I thought too.
I know,
So-
Yeah.
And that was what cause I think we copied like every bylaw for that one,
Yeah.
so
I was surprised to see that comment as
I
well.
think we're okay.
I think we are too.
And we'll consult with town council when we get to it, but
Yeah,
If what they're saying is true, could we just delete not more than and just have it say by a fine of $300?
oh, maybe.
If
Maybe.
what they're saying is true, and that if we
I see
leave it
what you,
as
cause
is.
if it's, open to interpretation,
Yeah.
then got it. I didn't even think of it that way. No, that's
Mm.
an easy way.
that's a good point.
Wait,
But if town
Wait, what
council
does it
can-
say about 300? Where is that?
of not, the fine, punished by fine of not more than $300.
Oh, so that's too open.
That's what they're
They're
saying.
saying, right,
Yeah,
but usually
okay.
it's the regulations that say if you commit this violation, then it's X,
Yeah.
blah, 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 so.
Right.
We'll just keep doing what we're doing for now. Section 12, security. Basically saying that we have to open a revolving fund, which we're doing. So I think,
Yeah.
and otherwise we have to put it into the general fund. So we knew that, I think we're doing that. So I think the third comment is what we've already known and we're doing.
Is that what it means? 'Cause
I think so.
Okay. I wasn't sure either,
'Cause
like, do we
53
need another fund now?
No, cause 53G1/2 is the revolving.
Okay,
So it's stating that if we take in any monies, then it has to go to this specific account. That is, in the treasury, that is designated for these purposes and can only be expended by this board for these, specific whatevers. And if we don't have that, then we have to put it into the general fund. Is how I read it, which I could be wrong, but
I read it.
that's how I read it. It was a lot of words, that
I mean,
section.
the thing is, like, I don't know. It seems silly. Because once people get their bylaws approved and their funds, their account growing, who's policing it?
No one.
This, like, who's making sure that I'm not mixing my local bylaw fees with my state account? Like,
Oh, I get audited at work all the time. No, seriously,
oh, my
we get
bosses
audited
will.
every year.
No, I mean the higher ups will, but I mean
Yeah.
from outside, like, I don't know, could you get in trouble with your council? If they found out?
Glenn, I feel like you're kind of ratting yourself out a little.
No. I know, I'm not, I just
worried because
I just wondered because when I was doing it, everyone was like, oh, no, we always put our local fees in our Wetland Protection Act account, like, because they don't know, nobody knows, these towns don't know, you're not supposed to
Oh,
be.
that's terrifying.
There are towns that are
Putting it in their WPA fund.
in the same account. Yeah, but I mean,
I'm surprised they haven't gotten hit by
Yeah,
Just regular audit.
the audit. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, how, do they do audit, are they gonna
Yeah.
audit my stuff?
They should.
Can you teach me how to do
It's on
quarterly
audit.
reports?
I clearly have a great accounting team because they give me what I need. Sorry. Okay.
But good, they can do it for them.
Because they don't let me go into the big stuff. Okay, any questions about the AG's comments? So our bylaw it's there, we just need to do our regulations, which I've slacked
We have
on.
to read it again so we know what it says too.
Yeah, everyone read it again, make sure we're interpreting correctly, but we're gonna get town council's review of our regs. I would hope we agree before we officially,
So we can, so we can just say,
we don't have to say anything.
after town council, then we can start enforcing it, is that what you mean?
No, it's good to go.
It's good to go, we just have to have regulations to be able to enforce it.
Yeah.
So we gotta finish our regulations, have town council give the blessing.
Okay,
I mean, I think it's good practice to have town council give the blessing.
yeah,
And then
it
we have
is.
to do that, public hearing, which is us just posting a notice and then vote to accept them and
Have an
away we go.
account. That's the
Okay.
bank account.
and have the bank account.
Right.
I mean, we could still collect funds, we just wouldn't have them, they would just go to the general fund, which,
Right, which the town would like, but
Sure.
I mean, if that has to happen for a month, I wouldn't cry about it,
no,
Yeah.
cause at least we'd be doing it,
right,
you know?
right.
But I think we should also, maybe there's something that me and Tamika can work on if you have the bandwidth, about starting to put information out about what we're gonna start needing. It's gonna be a change for a lot of people of saying, hey, we have a bylaw,
Yeah,
follow it,
Yeah.
yeah.
submit all these things this way now.
I know someone is gonna love that.
I had planned on sharing the information with our most common applicants, you know,
Yeah.
the developers and things
Yep.
like that. But also beefing up the our page on the website.
Yeah.
And making sure that the information is easily accessible to
Mm.
people.
I think that would be good.
We have an
Get it in their
application
face.
guidance document.
We do.
So
Yeah.
we could take a look at that and beef that up,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think that's a good place to put it.
okay. Alright, so I'll add that to my ever-growing
I
list.
would still recommend that at least one person attend the town meeting, cause I do anticipate we're gonna get a
I'll
little bit
be
of pushback
there.
on the revolving fund. So just to be able to answer questions about the intention of it and what kind of monies we'd be collecting to put in there. I think,
Planning to be there.
Yeah, cause we have,
perfect, thank you,
right.
I think
There were
there's some
questions at the last
misconceptions out
meeting,
there
right?
right now.
What?
There were questions at the last warrant meeting, I believe.
Yes.
The town meeting this spring, yeah, there were a few.
Or are you talking about the select board meeting?
Recently.
Yeah.
Yes,
We just have to make sure that we can like justify the fees. Like, why are you charging them, what are they for? We have to make people understand that there's a lot of administrative
Yeah.
work that goes in and legwork that
And it's
goes
not-
into.
Like I expect, like, I see a lot of towns for an RDA, it's $25.
yep.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
not-
Fees.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon in
No.
other communities, and I think you can liken it to, you know, the planning board charges fees, our zoning board of appeal charges fees, because there are
DPW.
costs that are associated
Yeah.
with these types of transactions.
Sometimes those fees can be thousands of dollars
Oh,
for
sure.
like subdivision review, site plan review,
Absolutely.
variance applications, they can get very expensive.
Yep.
I don't foresee that here. I mean, what's the highest application fee under WPA? It's like maybe 1,500, 2,000,
$12.50.
1,250, like it's not that much, and it's for larger projects.
Yeah, that's for like a, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've
Subdivision
ever
or
even
something.
seen that.
Yeah,
Here.
that doesn't happen too often. I think most of my projects I've done, it's usually around $1,000 for like a new building and site work.
Mm, yeah,
And ours will be less than that.
so every town meeting, to me, we have to go back and authorize a maximum spending limit, like not to
Yes.
exceed whatever we decide.
That just get like lumps in with all the other
Yes, it just gets
revolvings, right?
lumped in with all the revolving funds at the annual town meeting. So when the time comes around, I'll ask you guys what you'd like to set that number at, and then we fill it in on the chart on the warrant. And that's done on an annual basis.
Inly,
And then
okay,
if for some reason something happened and we needed to spend more than what was allotted, you can get a joint approval of the select board and the finance committee.
alright,
So we're
yeah,
not totally locked in if something unforeseen happened.
We were asked for
$1
$1 million.
If you can get there, you
Yes,
can
we
use
can get it
it.
in
Yeah.
there.
definitely.
Alright,
It's a lot of name tags.
Yeah, that's fine,
That's
was.
we have.
What time is it, George?
It's midnight.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Oh, no
we
wonder
gotta
I'm
go.
so tired.
It's going
Hey.
forever.
It feels like
So much for the
midnight.
fastest meeting.
I'm sorry!
We're getting there.
Okay.
7:10.
Lissa,
Illicit discharge, trash hauler truck discharge into wetlands erosion control area concerns at Rutland Heights property.
Yeah.
So you went by,
Mhm.
didn't see as much juice as some others had seen?
ew, it must have smelled so bad.
And that was only because the street sweeper went by, not realizing that employee didn't realize
That the other
that
employee
the
had
other,
seen
that
the
it had been
process.
reported, and so they ended up coming by and cleaning
Okay.
up much of what had been discharged that morning.
And I think the one of the fire hydrants was flushed too, I
It
believe.
was.
Oh my gosh, what is going on?
They're doing their job.
Right. They were cleaning the streets.
Just all happen on the same day.
That doesn't sound right.
Chances.
We've got a good DPW.
They're doing their job.
So the DPW foreman saw the truck.
So, yes, an employee saw, the truck empty liquid, onto
Garbage juice.
onto the garbage juice, onto the roadway.
Slurry.
Definitely
Slurry.
stunk.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It smelled when I went to.
Was there a
It had
catch
to.
basin by there? Or
Yes.
just the pond?
there's a,
I think there's a catch
there is a
basin.
catch
There's
ba-
one
there
over
is a
there.
catch basin
I'm sure
there.
there is, yes.
And
It's cause it's it was like, they were blatant about it too, they didn't even try to hide it, it's like the first 50 feet of the road. Like, you know that road that goes off of,
Yeah.
like, they didn't even like
So
drive
was this
down it.
in the
They literally
55
just-
in?
No.
No,
The
just
one before
going
that,
up.
they literally just backed up.
Main
about-
drag.
Yeah, about 30 feet,
Yeah.
dumped it, and.
so you know at the
took
bottom
off.
of
It's-
the development, in between the development and the pond, there's that little road.
Yeah,
that has, people just park there.
Yeah.
He's
It
backed
used
in
to
there.
lead to the town dump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good spot if you're gonna do something like that.
yeah, but
Not
not
really.
really.
Well, no, cause he clearly got seen.
No, but
goes
it's,
right down to
you know,
the
I mean,
pond.
it's set back off the main
Alright.
road
Yeah, but
though.
school buses and everything goes through the.
What do you
Yeah,
do
but-
back there,
Oh, they do?
Glenda?
Yeah.
Glenda, he
How do you
literally-
know it's
he
a good
literally
spot?
did it at the front of the road. Like, there's no way people driving by couldn't have seen it. Like, he was
Looking for
20 feet
mushrooms?
away from the stop sign.
And who knows if this is the first time, you know, we can't make assumptions, but,
Right.
you know.
Did you
Yeah,
hear
but
back?
I think we should make assumptions.
okay. Alright, so we did reach out to them. I think it's
What
a
do we, is this planning or?
no, I mean, I think if technically if it's like illicit discharge, it's under Board of Health,
Yeah.
but if it goes to the pond, I mean, then we have something.
The illicit discharge portion falls under our current stormwater illicit, it's a general bylaw, the illicit discharge to the stormwater
Okay.
system, which is overseen by the Board of Public Works, AKA our select board. But the DPW also wanted to make the Board of Health aware because they oversee our trash haulers, but also the
Got
commission
it.
because of the proximity to
Yep.
the wetlands potentially.
Okay, so I would say we just continue to monitor. Maybe we could send a letter, not like a violation letter, but a,
Please
hey, we
don't-
saw this and
please
this
don't
is
dump.
prohibited.
Yeah, just a warning.
Don't
just-
do this, please. Or it could be an email if they respond, you know, something, but something that we could put in a folder and be like,
Yeah,
no juice.
right. No, it was great. It was gross. It smelled really bad down there.
Love that,
Yeah,
great.
Do they normally, the garbage trucks go into their facilities and do that
they're supposed.
to like,
Like, what
Clean the
would make
machines.
them
Yeah.
have juice?
Oh,
People's
everybody's,
trash?
yeah.
Food waste,
yeah,
yeah.
what?
Nope, we're moving on.
Or I
We're
wonder if
moving
it
on.
could have
And
been rainwater?
Well, that's
No,
Possible.
Right? Like,
no,
in a dirty truck.
no. Cause, well, it could have been rainwater in
Yeah.
a dirty truck, but
Yeah.
it was, like, one of the pictures, there's a telltale sign that somebody dumped liquid out of a truck because there was a big puddle at the stop sign and then a big trail of garbage juice going up the hill. So it's just like if a boat like pulled out of a boat ramp,
Yeah,
you know, that trail of
Just
water
dripping
that you
water.
leave, it was, I took the picture. It's clear as day. So you can send a letter with that picture and tell them, don't do this again.
Should I call it garbage juice?
I would call it garbage juice, or I don't, that's,
Okay, there's a more
Gravy.
technical term.
Yeah, garbage gravy, garbage gravy,
It's
In light of
seasonal.
Thanksgiving coming up.
right.
garbage
In
gravy.
George's head.
Yeah, we're just that.
Garbage juice for my turkey breast.
Okay, alright, okay.
I'm on it.
But if they
I
are,
can drop
in
something if you
all
would like.
seriousness, if they have been doing this there on the reg, there's a couple of spots in the ECBs where
Yes.
the water goes
Those ECBs need to be
For,
repaired.
right
The-
down
the-
to the wetland.
55.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those need to get fixed, and again, if they've been dumping it there on the reg, just, I mean, it's a 150, 200 foot drop down to the
Yeah,
wetland.
that's steep.
do you want me to put
The
some
guy-
wetland plaques up along there?
Garbage juice isn't getting all the way down there, but it will seep into the
Garbage
groundwater. and
Yeah.
Get the garbage gravy will make it into the wetlands.
It's going in the groundwater.
Yeah,
So-
so,
We should put signs up.
yes,
Mhm.
I have some buffer signs, do you want me to put some up?
yeah, that'd be a
Is it
great
town
idea.
property still?
Yeah, can
That
we?
section?
Yeah,
That's,
that
might be
is.
an issue.
I don't know.
That should,
That,
you'd have to check the plan, cause I know
Okay.
a portion of the Heights, Harmony Place
yeah,
comes around down the back, we'd have to check.
But even still, that whole road lines,
We should put signs up.
that whole,
The road portion is definitely the
Yeah.
town
No
property.
dumping,
no dumping, no
no
nothing.
filling, no dumping, no discharging.
No gravy.
No
Right.
gravy
No gravy.
trains.
No
No
gravy
gravy.
trains.
alright, as we're devolving. Anything else on the garbage gravy? Alright, moving on. Thank you for going out there so quickly. That was
That's what
impressive.
I know, that was weird.
Well, as soon
Glad
as
I
I got
didn't
the-
have to go.
I got the email popped up and I just woke Mace up off the couch and said, come on, you gotta take me for a ride. And we
You gotta
went.
take me for a ride.
I gotta go play Con Cop. Look at the garbage
With your
juice.
super suit.
Yeah.
With the dumpster gravy. Alright, the last thing on the agenda was wetland regulations. I haven't been working on them, I have to admit, so, it's gonna light a fire under my butt since our bylaw is done, so please, please, please take a look at them. The current draft is on the SharePoint. I will only edit the one on the SharePoint, so any updates I make will be on there. If you ever want a hard copy, you can ask Tamika.
Yes.
Nice.
Sorry,
If you want, I
Tamika.
can print it.
I would say if you can come with things that you would like to see in the regulations. It doesn't need to be written in any draft form, even if it's a bullet list of things that you see from others that you think should be in here, specifications, whatnot, that would be phenomenal. And I'll try and make some progress on that so we can maybe have something like we did for the bylaw, have Tamika print us out copies and we can kind of look through it. See if we like things, wanna change things, and then continue it that way, so we can get it done. Start
And
collecting
how did
those
you want us
permits.
to send our edits if we have any?
If you wanna make
Suggestions?
edits in the documents or suggestions, I'd say download the
The one that's on there,
one that's on there, download it to your computer. Don't edit the one in the
on the
SharePoint.
SharePoint.
And then just track change.
Save it and do track
Yeah,
change and then
whatever.
submit that back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it that way. I think that works. Was there anything else that was coming up? Okay, we did the other item. Anything else, you guys?
Yeah, it was, the dumpster
The dumpster.
issues.
Yeah.
Overfull dumpsters are a big problem with all these developments. Right now on Main Street, the duplex that's going in just before Bond Road heading towards Holden, there's a dumpster there and I sent it to Tamika. It's like, the waste is like 3 feet above the top.
Yeah, it's
And it's all surrounded by wetlands down there. And we've seen this at other developments
So-
too, up on Grizzly and it's just, there's a fill line on these dumpsters for a reason.
Yeah.
So
Right,
if we can
and
put that in our conditions, you know, that,
the wind is blowing 60 miles an hour is not helping.
right,
Right, there's probably a bunch of stuff in there now.
yeah. But it's like every time we go to a site visit,
Yeah.
these dumpsters are like,
They literally, all they have to do is
Easy.
smash it down.
yeah,
It's not that hard.
nope, or just get a second dumpster.
Yeah, just call and say, hey, pick this one up and drop it off. at the-
Hello.
So maybe at the next meeting, we can also add an agenda item to just take a quick look at our special conditions. Yeah, we could see what even other general tweaks. We don't have to like do a total overhaul at the next meeting, but if we have one or two we wanna at least add in the meantime, we can do so. Cause we'll probably wanna tweak them again when we're done with our regs, cause we will have two separate kind of findings, one under the WPA and one under the bylaw, so. Is there anything else? Thank you, Brian, I forgot about that, I'm sorry.
I also thought, last meeting we talked about, like, Linda, you mentioned like Eagle Scout projects or something. It might be beneficial to us to come up with a list of all different projects that we can think of, that way if one of us or Tamika's approached by the scouts or something like, hey, do you have any projects that we could do, you know, we need 15 service hours. You know, if we had a list, so we could just say, here, choose one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that would be great. I'm trying to get right now the I don't know, something that shows like what all the categories are, cause you guys know Jen Keevan, what's her last name?
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Jen Keevan, Jen and Scott Keevan?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Scott.
their son Sam
Yeah.
Yeah, they
is
live right
wanting to
behind
do a
us.
project,
Mhm.
and he said there's different categories, there's like forestry, like in environmental
Yeah,
section.
there's different merit badges and stuff and different.
How do we get that information? Because
Get the Boy Scout handbook.
sometimes the Eagle Scouts are shy and they don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't really.
Sam's pretty shy.
Honestly,
He is shy,
Yeah.
so it's
if you
like,
get a- if you
I think
get
I
a-
horrified him the other day, I'm like, hello, I'm like, do you remember me?
if
He
you
lives
get
right behind George.
I'm like, are you Jen's son? He was like, oh,
If you get a
Jesus,
copy
who
of
is
the-
this lady?
if you just buy a copy of the Boy Scout handbook,
Yeah,
all the regulations for all service, like all the requirements for every service project that the kids need to do throughout.
the Boy Scout handbook, there is
Yeah.
such a thing?
Yeah, they probably have one upstairs.
I
in
was
the
a Girl
library.
Scout and a Brownie, so I don't know, don't ask me.
Yeah, but it lists all the requirements for all the different, at least all the
Public
ranks for service projects, and then it'll probably even list the requirements for the required merit badges, and some of those may.
Oh,
Like
that'd be
forestry
great,
one might
yeah.
require
Different
a
ranks.
service project one.
Cause
So-
sometimes they just call up and they don't really know what they wanna do, like they're just kinda searching for
Yeah,
like an idea, but I was surprised that forestry was one of them. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that before? Hello, I have so much forestry stuff,
it'd
you
be
know?
really nice to, I mean, as an Eagle Scout, I can tell you that coming up with a project when I was a kid, that was harder than doing the actual
I know.
project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
same
know,
here.
so if the town had a list of projects that we could give these kids and say, here,
Choose one.
pick from these 15, this is what we got now, you know?
Yeah, just like bullets with a small
And if
description
we
about
can
what we're
align
looking
them
for.
Yeah,
with-
and,
with
yeah,
those
this one
different
would be an
badges.
Eagle project, this one would be a Star project.
And how many hours we think that it might take,
Right.
or.
that's
I
such a
mean-
good idea.
We can I can certainly do something like that.
Maybe
That's,
that can be our winter project when
Yeah.
applications kind of slow down and
if we can
That's a
think
great idea.
of little community service projects that need help around town, like old cemeteries that need cleaning up and stuff like that.
the Civil War Monument.
Right, we were talking about that
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah,
we
the
can come
cleaning
up-
up,
Yeah.
If
because,
we can come up with a list of those, that would be helpful,
Yeah.
real helpful for the kids.
Maybe we could have that on our page too, like
Yeah.
ask us about community service projects or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Yep.
Absolutely,
exactly.
and our
That's perfect.
Facebook page too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can get
Yep.
the word out.
Cause it's not just Boy Scouts that do community service.
right,
Oh, absolutely.
Right, I
You know,
mean,
the
the school,
church- yeah,
I
the
think the high
churches-
school's required now for graduation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, high schools do it, churches do community service,
Yeah.
so.
so do they also have to do the fundraising sometimes for the
Yeah.
materials?
Yep.
If they
Oh,
need
yeah.
materials?
Yep.
You have to put together a book. I still have mine, it's a binder, it's a notebook with all the hours that you did for
Oh,
everything
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
all your
Okay.
receipts and pictures and it's like starting a business. It's crazy.
Could we fund projects through our new fund?
Yeah.
Partially, you know, we could, or little scholarships or something,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
Or just like, yeah, donate money to projects so they can buy some of the materials?
Cause that revolving fund won't have the same restrictions as like our WPA.
As our WPA,
does,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like
Good to know for the town meeting, if anybody asks,
That's a great idea.
right?
Yeah,
Keep that in your back pocket.
well, no, cause some of the supplies can get expensive if they're not doing something simple
Oh my
like
gosh, I
Absolutely.
know.
picking up, you know,
They're trying to buy
cleaning out old-
lumber for something, like
Yeah.
lumber's
Oh my
cost
gosh,
possibly
yeah.
gone through the
You
roof.
know,
Yeah.
some of the benches that these kids have been building for the service projects that I know of, they're spending hundreds of dollars
There's
on
no
lumber.
way.
Right, and a lot of these, when I did mine, like all the materials were donated, but now everything's so expensive and these small family-run businesses, they can't afford to donate things, so if they
Exactly.
have,
Yeah,
you know, if we're able to contribute a little, you know, $100 or something, or,
Right, cause Jeds can't cover every
right,
every kid that comes in looking for a service project,
Yeah.
you know, or
They
watching.
go out of business if they did.
Yeah,
Good to know, thanks.
no problem.
One other topic.
Yes.
Land trusts. Did you wanna,
Oh.
we were gonna talk to Leah, I think,
Yeah,
right?
and I did not, it totally slipped my mind. So, because the Rutland Land Conservancy, I don't know if they ever officially dissolved yet. So my understanding is some of the other land trusts didn't want to, you know, step on toes because we already had a local land trust. But now that, my understanding is that the Rutland Land Conservancy is now defunct. I think we have a pretty gaping hole, I would agree, with land trust. So I think Greater Worcester had previously expressed interest in coming this way, so I will, I'd be happy to reach out to them and, you know, see their interest in
Yeah.
town and whatnot. I know I'd talked to, like, the trustees have part interest in one of the properties on Main Street, but they don't really have any plans for that property as of now. They have a pretty small interest in it, I think, like percentage interest.
Is it across from the cemetery?
Yeah,
The one
yeah,
that's
yeah.
there?
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know, is still on their radar for the future and
Yep.
possibilities, but there's, you know, kind of nothing in the books for now.
Right.
But yeah, if there's other land trusts that you think.
East Quabbin would be good, for that side of town.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, because there's like two halves of Rutland kinda, you know, like the Quabbin side and then the Worcester-ish side.
What's East Quabbin cover? Is that like Princeton?
Hubbardston, Barry, the Brookfields, I believe.
it's out of Hardwick, so
Hardwick.
I would say Hardwick.
Skipped over town.
New Braintree.
Yep.
That's Hardwick, really, right? No.
It's a separate town, Oakham.
Separate town.
Gilbertville is still Hardwick.
Yes, that is.
That's just a village.
What?
Gilbertville.
Gilbertville.
I love Gilbertville,
Gilbertville.
Rose
That's
32.
cause Rose 32 is there. It's the only reason why anybody knows where Gilbertville is.
We had a soccer game there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had a soccer game last
Sounds
weekend.
cool.
Did you go to Rose?
No, I didn't know it was there.
Oh
What
my
is
You gotta
it?
go, you gotta go, it's amazing.
It's the greatest bread in
Rose
in-
32
in-
bread.
it's
in
been on,
the country.
it's been on Chronicle.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
The only bread I've
But I'm
had
probably never
better
gonna go
is
back.
in Europe.
Where you went, where,
Can't confirm. Can't confirm. Although, no, I'll say this afterwards. A new restaurant, it's fine. This is not Concom related. Alright, anything else? I'd say
done.
reach out to Land Trust,
I'm
reach
done.
out to East Quabbin, I'll do Greater Worcester.
wasn't there another one that I mentioned, another land
White
trust?
Oak.
White Oak is Holden, right?
Holden and
Paxton, maybe?
they have a little in Paxton, yeah, it's almost all Holden and Paxton.
Their website doesn't work.
And I don't know. I could ask and see. Would I ask Ken Strom, maybe? Because he's been on there for literally ever.
You probably know.
I
have a feeling they won't be interested, but I think we should ask it the
I
question.
reached out when I joined Open Space and and they didn't seem interested, but that was
Yeah,
years ago now.
I think they got plenty to keep them busy in Holden,
Mhm.
Paxton. It's too bad though, remember I told you guys I sent my check to the Rutland one? Got my check back. I was like, what's this?
And all their properties were gonna be turned over to DCR.
They still
Right.
are.
They,
yeah.
s-
Yeah.
they haven't yet? Or have,
It's, they have to dissolve.
Okay,
for it
and
to
then
go.
they'll-
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
watershed,
watershed protection, yeah.
so not even parks. But yes.
Bummer.
But if they're not dissolved, DCR can't take it, right?
Not yet.
And if they.
I mean, it's all primary protection anyways.
Right, but if they don't, just for conversations purposes, so I'm asking a question.
Okay, yeah.
If they don't dissolve, right, until we find a land conservancy, whatever they are, whatever it's called, a land conservatory, conservancy,
Land trust.
land trust. Can the land trust then take over before DCR? Or does DCR have number one spot once
I don't know.
the conservatory,
I don't
the
know
other
if
thing
they've like already
dissolves?
signed some sort of it depends if they've like
Like,
already
is it
made
like a
an
first or a
agreement
second,
something.
first and second mortgage, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so the guy who's
I
got the
don't-
first gets the money first.
I think it's just an agreement that they came to of, oh, we'll take it because nothing else can be done with them anyways, so might as well.
Well, then let's change the agreement.
Well, I mean, it's still protected.
Yeah.
But if we do find like a land trust, I feel like we need like like parks and open spaces, like conserved land. Remember the whole thing, like the agriculture people felt like, or everyone thought like the CPA was just gonna be for agricultural
Mhm.
purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
And I feel like it was just so
It missed the-
misinformation and
There was a lot of misinformation about it,
being
yes.
just not understood.
Yes,
Yeah,
including we don't need to get into it, but yeah,
Yeah.
the whole process of it too, there was so much information that was false.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
out there.
it was,
Blew my mind how much bogus stuff was being said.
exactly.
The world we live in.
Totally untrue.
We're
right.
still bitter.
Yeah, well,
I can tell.
I
Someone's
am.
still
I
better.
am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
yes,
Me too.
and I'd vote yes again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
It's
cause
not on a lot
too
of
much,
state funding.
too much tree cutting going on around here.
It's
what I
midnight 30 according to our
Oh,
clock.
jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that property that the
It's already
trustees is
tomorrow.
interested in, that they have half,
I got kids.
whatever. That's the property I was thinking about.
I gotta get up in
going
about
to, because
6 hours.
Trails and mountain biking trails
one?
and
Which
hiking,
one?
right across from rural cemetery. There's a-
Rural cemetery?
Yeah, right across. It's Blair and Trustees has some sort of it.
Wait, what's across from there? With the yellow?
Yeah,
I've wondered what that is.
that goes right to our
Not
backyards.
all of it
pretty
is.
much.
And there's like,
Goes where?
there's a
Our
quarry
backyards.
back there or something too.
What's that?
There's an old quarry or something back there too,
I
right?
think that's
There's a bunch of
um,
ledges, and that's on Blair's property.
Yeah.
is that on Blair's part or is that
Oh, where the
what's his-
gate is?
What's his next door?
The ledges are Blair, and then the other side is
What's his
Bubba.
What's his name?
What's his last name?
What's his name, Tamika?
Bubba.
Ralph Colorio.
Yes,
Yeah.
Blair. Yep.
Bobo.
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 Bobo. I'm like,
You-
not Bubba.
They were trying to sell that property, Bobo, but it's so wet back there.
It's wet in
Mm.
front too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You talking about the one on Main Street?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't he come talk to us?
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, he was in here, wasn't
Yeah, we looked into it, we're like, ugh, you
So
think
there's nothing you
he?
can do.
this would be really tough to build something
Yeah.
like even a driveway to get back there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
wanna access it. Like, well,
I
it's
feel
a
like they never
wetland.
came back again, we must have.
No, they didn't. No.
Well, he knows
Discouraged.
stuff.
That would, yeah. that would've been-
Alright, anything
I like
else?
people.
Anything else? Anything else?
Gotta be-
Where's Skip when you need him?
Is there a motion?
Motion to get out of here.
Yeah, where's
Motion to
Skip?
adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
second by Jared, all those in favor by roll call?
Barrington, aye.
Gentilucci, aye.
Okay.
You're okay.
Room center.
Hands aye, we are adjourned 7:34, goodbye.